It's the beginning of another weekend on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Muriah Afolabi Brown. As always, I never do this alone. I have the ladies. Hello.
Hello. Good
Honey,
morning.
Pat is our guest co-host. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
I love the gilly.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Wumi, upstairs. Wumi did the gilly and Dukwe did the makeup. Thank you.
You look lovely. Any plans for the weekend?
Well, resting, reading, working.
That's good. Let me come to you. Auntie BC, how you doing?
This one that you're calling me busy today, I hope I'm safe.
Because I'm the only person
that
who
calls me
constantly
busy, I don't know.
Abiachi, how are you again?
I'm great. Thank God it's Friday.
Yes,
It's
we
the
missed you on the show
weekend.
yesterday.
Yeah, so I heard. I watched the snippets and I saw my babes vibrating. Even YK had to stand up at top. I was like, oh God. What's happening?
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. So the weekend is just going to be me. I have a lot of work to get to. I made my goal for January that I was going to complete my assignment and get registered with LCAN, that's Life Coaches Association of Nigeria. But I've not even started. So I think this weekend I need to start reading, you know, so I can get it done.
Fantastic. Nima,
Nima,
how are you doing?
I'm fine now. But the year is full. You know, when my co-hosts talk about how busy they are, I'm scared to even analyze my own. So last year I was able to cut off a lot of events, but this year I'm not that lucky. So up until January 25, when the SHIO happens, that I'm facilitating. You remember the SHIO? We attended the one at...
yes, fantastic event.
And this year's one is at the Civic Center. So after that one, I can then see me there. Someone was still calling me yesterday. I said, please, I'm not available. I don't want to die early. But I did something to my daughter that, you know, it's funny. I wanted to share it yesterday. You know, as a child, when your mom says, don't touch sharp objects, don't do this. There's a way they used to teach us so that we will never touch it. So my daughter wanted to cut her birthday cake for an aunt, and she went to cut the cake with a knife without telling me. So normally when she injures herself, just small push, she will scream very well so that I will hear wherever, even if I'm sleeping. But this time when she cut herself with a knife, she didn't cry. She bear the pain. She kept quiet. It was the auntie that came and said, Frank cut herself. And okay, let me see it. Is it bad? It's not bad. It's okay. She didn't have the guts because you know this is a constant warning. I don't allow sharp objects around them at home. I said, okay, since you have cut your hand, just go and wash it first. With what? She said with what? So she washed it with hand wash and came and said, no, not hand wash. That black soap I use in bathing. That's what we use to wash it. Now black soap is very medicinal. I remember washing my injuries and my tear when I gave birth with it with salt. That's what my mom used to heal. And within 2 days, the thing will heal. But it will prepare your life. In fact, the pepper will warn you never to cut yourself. So when she put it, she screamed and was rolling on the floor. Mommy, I said, wait, come and wash it under water.
Weekend, mommy.
As soon as she was done, I said, how do you feel now? She said, I don't want to see knife again. I said,
fantastic. Look at our daughters. My daughter's birthday is coming up. And usually, they don't fuss me about birthdays. I just buy a cake and send drinks to school and we're done. But this one, she's asking me that she wants to do her hair, she wants to change this, she wants a yellow dress. Where do you get a yellow?
Go to the island.
Yellow dress.
Make a yellow dress.
Looking for yellow dress.
Make a yellow dress.
You can make a yellow dress, a beautiful yellow
dress. Okay, I'll look for a material.
Gufran got a dress in, what's this color? And a turban for her birthday, but it wasn't me. That was Miriam. The whole work, the cakes, the fireworks, the balloon, everything. I don't get her. I told her no birthday party.
Right. I didn't want to do a birthday party, but she was insisting she wants a yellow dress and she wants this, she wants that.
Get her. Since you didn't ask for this before.
But this is January, we're broke.
Oh my God.
Like, everybody's rock bottom.
Just a small.
We've tightened this January. We are tightening because we spent in December.
Just small. You might just have it at home, which you want to.
You know what I did? All the cash I had left, I just handed it over to my house help. Wait, you know what? You are the one because this is food money. So right now I'm just going by. So yellow dress is the least. This January,
this girl doesn't usually demand. This is not what she would do normally.
Yeah. I have to look for yellow material.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
No, very good one. Just get the tailor and give them.
Yes, and it will look like it's a ready-made one.
Okay, that's on that note. It's Friday. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll go through the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Okay, let's start with The Nation. Governors Amotekun, not a parallel security outfit. Picture here of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu during the, it was actually impromptu visit to teachers while doing classes at a co-excel in Bariga yesterday. Labour gives January 31st deadline on new wage. PDP is Nigeria's obstacle to good governance. Also insists on no to payroll enrollment. Nigerian equities rally 1.23 trillion naira gains in 6 days, and our deal at NIN offices by applicants.
So quickly,
Let's start with which slide?
I wanted to take the NIN.
Go ahead.
NIN registration. So JAM requires that if you don't have a national identity number, you cannot take part in this UTME that is coming up. So because of that, of course, you'd expect a rush of people who have intentions to write the exam, attend, patronize NIN centers for registration. And immediately this happens, the Nigerian factor comes in. NIMC officials now are taking advantage of that to extort from 500 to 2,000 naira from candidates, and people who are not willing to pay are made to stay for 3 to 4 hours before they even get an attempt to get in to register. So it is important, because JAM is requiring this, to collaborate with the NIMC to protect Nigerians. Young people, I've seen some of them, even the one at Alausa that is supposed to be headquarters, and you'd expect a lot of sanity around there, is worse off. So you'd expect that the NIMC, the DG of NIMC or director of NIMC should be called to check his staff.
Let me take this
Amotekun. Amotekun is everywhere.
Everywhere, like all
I want
of
to
it.
take the picture story, because the teachers are actually being equipped with a device. They're doing the training. Primary school teachers, the public schools. And what they're doing is they're teaching them how to use a mobile device to organize their classroom materials and teach. And what it does, it helps them to better ensure, digitalize and also ensure better learning outcomes for the children. Yeah, so the teachers are feeling really good.
Yes, the governor of Lagos State has also promised that he's going to make available like a welfare scheme. Yes. He's going to enrich their welfare scheme and give them like buses, maybe cars for the head teachers.
Yes,
you know, it's a way of encouraging
some of the head teachers will get cars, and they're actually pretty happy. Okay, moving on to the Punch. Amotekun starts on shaky ground. 3 governors absent from launch. Policeman slit my throat after knocking me down, says decorator. Flight delays increase as Hamilton haze hits airports. Obasanjo Abiodun in closed-door meeting, details unknown. Banks deposits with CBN hit 3.17 trillion in 9 months. Embrace IPPIS Buhari, urges ASU, promises better funding. Let's do Amotekun now. Go ahead.
All right, so after months of agitation over the spate of insecurity in the nation, in the southwest, let me just say, well, it's everywhere. So they actually launched the Operation Amotekun yesterday, and 3 governors were not present. That is, the southwest governors were not present. That's Abiodun of Ogun State, Sanwo-Olu of Lagos, and Osun State Governor, that's Oyetola. And Akeredolu had to speak on their behalf and said that it was due to bad weather and all that. That's in fact, something caught my fancy, and it was as if it was a joke, but maybe it was actually saying the truth. He said that we from the poor states, we can actually make it to Ibadan like quickly, faster, and the people from maybe one of the problems they have from the rich states is that.
From the papers, Abiodun had a meeting with Obasanjo, former president. So and Sanwo-Olu obviously had an appointment with his teacher. So borders or no weather.
But really, it was but they were actually represented, but that was what Akeredolu said.
I know, but
this goes to the bottom of the issue, because if they are together, as important as the security of that region is for them to put in funds together to do communal policing for themselves.
You'll do everything to attend the meeting.
This date was not impromptu. This was a plan.
They had representatives.
But you do recall that all 6 governors came together when they agreed for this.
So they've launched it.
This is the arrival of the trucks and also the official launch. But we knew when they came together. So all of them actually agreed. So let's not agree as if 3 against 3.
But there is now one thing. But the Apex Igbo Sociocultural Organization, Ohannize Indigbo, yesterday described the launch of the scheme as an indictment of the federal government, saying it lends, credence to the notion that the country's security insecurity architecture has failed. So that's according
Let's
to
take the human interest story.
Yes,
Policeman
so
slit his
this
throat.
Olaleko Ogunsoya had an issue with a policeman. So on his way, he was the policeman was taking his family to the hospital and hit the young man. So he just wanted the policeman to at least apologize, but then he came out with a knife and was this koboko, and they got into a serious fight, and he ended up slicing his throat. So he is he's been hospitalized and he's healing. Thank God that he
didn't die.
according to the eyewitnesses, that he survived this. But so he's asking that justice is being done.
Daily Sun, very quickly, Southwest governors team up to tackle insecurity. Picture here of Prince Ned Nwoko and others they went to the South Pole to launch with the Nigerian flag together to launch the Foundation's eradication of malaria in Africa. Sanwo-Olu boosts teachers' morale by attending training. Fresh crisis brews in South Africa as Nigerians get eviction threat. Minimum wage TUC gives January 31st deadline, and Igbo quest for presidency not linked to Biafra agitation, says Ohaneze. Let's talk about South Africa for a second. Who has that story? Yes, Nima.
So, according to the head of South Africans in a particular region in South Africa, following an altercation between a Nigerian and a police officer from South Africa that led to the death of that police officer and the stabbing of an eyewitness, Nigerians in that area were attacked in retaliation, and their properties siphoned, and a lot of other wahala happened, and they were given an ultimatum to leave within 12 hours because one Nigerian had an altercation with a police officer. But fortunately this time, he killed. Yeah. But fortunately this time, the South African police were on top of their act, and they did everything to curb the excesses of South Africans who wanted to jump on this. This is one citizen against one citizen crime. Murder, as serious as it is, should not lead to further attack of other innocent individuals.
Okay, any other story in Sun? Ohaneze?
Yes, so the Deputy National Public Secretary of Ohaneze Ndibo, Chuks Ibegu, is saying that people should stop comparing the Igbo 2023 agitation for presidency with Biafra, that they are two different things. You know, we have other body, we have the Niger Delta who have been fighting for their own cause, but it didn't stop their person from being a president at one time or the other. So people shouldn't put the two together. The Biafra, what they are fighting for is for them to have a level playing ground. They shouldn't be marginalized in the country. It's way different from their aspiration for 2023.
Moving on to Vanguard, Amotekun not agenda to divide Nigeria. We have credible intelligence that Iran shot down Ukrainian planes, says Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau. Gunmen attack Kaduna Catholic School, abduct 4. Minimum wage will cripple defaulting states after January 31st. But Obasanjo Abiodun hold closed-door meeting on Ogun development. Okay, so the Prime Minister of Canada is saying that they have credible intelligence, that indeed a missile actually shot down that plane that killed, I think it was 63 of their own citizens and 83 of Ukrainian citizens. It was Ukrainian
I like
airline.
the conditional statement that he said, maybe though not intentional,
Yes.
that, you know, but an air surface missile from Iran shot down that plane. And he is very responsible in his statement not to incite further reaction by that. And he said, although it might not be intentional, but
I think the US also agrees that it was
information that happened.
Minimum wage?
The minimum wage.
Yes, go ahead.
So states have been given until January the 31st to implement the new 30,000 minimum wage. And well, Labour is saying that it cannot even guarantee you know, how did I put that thing again? I think they said that it cannot guarantee industrial peace and harmony in such states at the expiration of the ultimatum. So they are asking all the states now to get their act together because they're not going to tolerate that.
Well, they said that last in December too.
Yeah.
December 31st came, nothing happened.
So you're thinking that January 31st will come and nothing will happen.
Some states have started payment of the minimum
some states
wage.
have started.
Some are still on the negotiating table at the moment. So they are just, you know, trying to hurry up those ones who have not even started negotiating at all.
Daily Trust, very quickly, 2 trillion naira Mambila project. We are starting from scratch. Very sad story. Gunmen killed 12 persons in Plateau village. Let's find a story not taking. BUA listing adds 1.8 trillion to NSA capitalization. Okay, who has a major headline?
So according to the minister for... No, because when I read this story, I was like, According to the minister, and again, admitting what the disco official that came here, I can't remember what office he held, mentioned that there was nothing at all called Mambila. So he has admitted and that they are going to start survey work for this, in 2020 for the Mambila Power Project. And they've expanded that the entire 2020 will be for that project, hopefully will be committed. That the president has, assigned money for resettlement of all the people that are around the Mambila, where the project, the power project is going to be situated, to compensate people for relocation and all that. And this is clear now that we have something on ground. Unlike what we've always been hearing before, there's a power project, there's a power project. Now what he's simply saying is we are working now. We know that they will be resettling people, they will be compensating people for taking over their properties. About 450 million has been assigned for consultancy in various fields, 150 for consultancy here. So there's a clear project paperwork.
Just to remind Nigerians, this Mambila project started back in 1973. And it was cancelled in 2007. And it was given back to the same contractors, the CGGC, back in 2019, and that's when this process is starting. So this is not yesterday. I mean, they've been on, and lots of money have already gone down.
Yes,
but unfortunately,
finally they want to kick off.
I hope so.
After how many years?
How many of us were born in 1973? Okay, we have to run. Unfortunately, we can't take any more. But I was going to just read the headlines for how Operation Motekun will serve Southwest People States governors. You can see Akeredolu in one of the trucks. There's no other news story. Sanwo-Olu to give primary head school teachers official vehicles. Okay, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, we'll discuss other topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So the news recently broke that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, who announced that they will be stepping back from their role as senior members of the royal family. According to the couple, the decision, which came after several months of reflections and internal discussions, will enable them work to become financially independent. This has come as a shock to many people across the world. And many have insinuated that Meghan has successfully taken Harry away from his family. Now, what are your thoughts on this? If you'd like to join the conversation, 070-806-68014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YoVTVC so we can read your tweets. So I kept hesitating because there's a name we call Meghan in my house.
Oh my gosh, so you weren't going to just pick it right here?
I was going to, was a pastor that was preaching. I can't remember his name, Pastor Bullet. He's popular as Pastor Bullet. He calls her Oluwa Meghan Milo. Oluwa Meghan Milo, because she came from...
all the story about
she came from humble background and now made way into the palace. So it's like Oluwa Meghan Milo. So there was this testimony story that everybody aspired to be like a young girl. Oh, I can be a Meghan.
Like Esther in the Bible.
But now it's almost as if Meghan went there and brought him to her own side of the world. And people are now criticizing her. Others are celebrating her or celebrating Prince Harry that, listen, it's good for you to choose your own nuclear family than your extended family. But I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. Do you think it was a good idea? And whose side are you? Are you on Harry's side? Are you on the royal family side? Are you on even her mother is in the picture because they plan to move to North America where her mother stays. So let me start with you. I know that you have an opinion on this.
Okay, so I do have an opinion on this, and well, it might just not be one, like, it's just straight-jacketed like that. But I would say first, the person you marry or you end up with can make or mar you. And as such, and I think that, history is about to repeat itself. Why did I say that? Because all of this that we are seeing happen happened before. So if you ever got into the story of the royal family and, you read about King Edward VIII, he later became just Prince Edward, he became the king. That's the present Queen's uncle, became the king in 1936. And then he said he wanted to marry a woman, an American, who was divorced She had divorced her first husband and was on the process. She was the process of another divorce was ongoing, and so it was against the rule of the royal family to do such, and so they were against it, and he became the king on January the 31st of that year, and that same year, December the 11th, it was abdicated. So. And then he ended up with that particular woman, and they just moved to France, and that was how they actually lived their lives and all that.
And so she has
and another thing again is that a lot of people are coming from the angle that he doesn't want what happened to his mother to happen to Meghan, that she has been bullied so many times because she's a black woman and all of those, and everybody knows what happened in 1997, of course, to Diane.
What do you feel?
But what I would say here is that now, no matter where you go, the family is always there for you to just fall back on, or you fall back to at the end of the day. So when you exclude yourself at the end of the day, so you say that you want to be, so that means you want to work and you want to charge, you want to be able to charge. And at the end of the day, people are saying that, well, maybe she wants to get back to acting, and then Harry would maybe just play along with her. And at the end of the day, everything they get would be based on, because somehow they are from the royal family. So it's either you're from the royal family or you're not from the royal family. I get all those sentiments like,
okay, I'll come back to you. Let me hear, because I wanted to,
So for me, I believe nobody can be stolen except you want to be stolen. So I don't like the fact that a lot of people were coming after Meghan, saying she's trying to divide the family. She wants to bring Harry out of the, that royal family and just make him a commoner like herself. I think it's unfair on her part, because this is an adult. Prince Harry is an adult. They had whatever arrangement they had, and then he decided to be his own man. Okay, I don't want to live under the shadow of the royals. It's okay to be a non-conformist. And I understand the fact that he also wants to protect his wife. It's very possible they are not happy in that house. It's also very possible that the wife
from the palace already.
Okay, it's also very possible that there's a way the family clutches just hold you, that you are not able to live your own life. Now, family for me is who you say they are, and who, the people that make you feel like you are part of them is what I call family. It's not about blood, so to speak. So if he wants to be his own man, he wants to be able to earn. Remember that people have been condemning Meghan, that she's feeding off the royals. They are not able to earn anything. And now this man says, okay, I want to be able to build financial independence, want to do our own work ourselves. They shouldn't be judged.
Okay, all right.
It will still be linked to the royal family, because they're going to get that based on,
in a family, there's always the roots and then trees and branches. So Harry is just a branch of the royal family. He should be allowed to start his own tree.
Thank you.
That's the way it is. Because you see, in Africa now, because I know they too, they bother all these foreign things. In Africa now, what we forget easily is that everybody starts a tree. Because we promote the extended family so much, they take so much effort in explaining and enforcing norms and traditions on people to the extent they don't have respect. What is Harry supposed to do when he has brought someone else's daughter into his house? What is he supposed to do with Meghan? He's to respect her and start his tree. Yes. Unfortunately, God has continued that tree with a child. He's to protect her.
But and he's Harry today. He's Harry today because of the foundation.
Nobody's disputing that.
So that's what she's saying.
The royals now should respect that Harry is a branch of that tree, and allow that branch to rebranch. If they continue to insist that we are the root, will cut you off, what you will do is that you will find him falling down and starting a tree well, and he will. Okay. See, as a family, Harry's line has started. He has a child, and if he continues to respect the royals to the extent that his mother, the pains that his mother suffered and died going through, is forced on his wife. What kind of man, what kind of head will he be?
Sit down like that and just
all right, so may I say that, well, according to the royal family is not opposing anything they have said, but they're saying that, number one, this thing caught them unawares because they just heard. They heard as other people heard. So it was the first time it broke that they heard. And it is such, such an embarrassing thing for you to hear for the first time
last night to say it was a complicated What she used was the word complicated. So she's not saying they did not give them problem. They're just saying they are also bound by this same set of rules that they could not help
but
them.
I think what I hear,
that's what I'm saying.
I hear Honeypot say is that can they really live lives outside the that royalty? Even if they move to North America, go to the North Pole, go to the South Pole. Yeah. Hey, you're still Prince Harry.
Let's look at it well.
And you still get the benefits of being Prince Harry.
Let's look at it well again. They're not saying they are no longer biologically related to that family. Harry is not saying that. What they're simply saying is that certain rules of that house that is curtailing them or still creating an impediment to the acceptance of Meghan will be breached, and you'll find a way for her to survive.
Thank you for driving us there, because that's where I want to go now. Because, so you're making the ultimate sacrifice of your family because of your wife.
I don't understand.
You're making that... Listen, I want us to... That's the conversation I want us to have now. A man is saying, I want to focus on my wife and my family. I want to build my own family.
My own family.
In my own family. Now, for a lot of families, or for a lot of, not just royal families, especially African families, that is almost like a taboo. How are you going to you cannot be, it is our pride and joy that we come from a wide extended family. That is not, you cannot be a tree by yourself. So that's what we hold dear in this part of the world. So the point I'm trying to make is that why would we then begin to celebrate a Harry who is willing to go and create his own, where we're saying, listen, you cannot do without us.
May I come in here?
Yeah, I'll come back to you.
May I come in here? So I am not saying that you shouldn't be able to focus on your nuclear family, but there is no how you can do totally away with your extended family. So what am I saying in essence? What I'm saying here is that maybe for the very first time, I'm going to agree with Piers Morgan, who says that you took, you ditched your friends, you ditched your father, you split, William from Harry. I don't know whether the situation is so
Meghan
cool.
That?
Yeah, that's what you're saying, that, the relationship is not so cool, even with the brother any longer. So that's now you are taking him away totally. I don't know how that feels. So now they're blaming... Because I think that there are ways you should go about stuff.
The issue is that they are blaming Meghan for taking him away. That's the issue now.
Everything.
Now, do we blame the woman for taking the man away? Because the Bible says you leave your family and cleave.
I wanted to quote it
right?
yeah.
But now they are blaming the woman for taking and absorbing this man. Let me take this call that I come to you, Regulu. Good morning. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, thanks for sending me the number via Twitter. I really appreciate it.
Oh, okay.
Actually, Harry is a man of his own, so he has his own decision to take.
Yes.
Aside from being a royal or whatever, he has a decision as a man to leave the woman. The woman shouldn't control the man. Actually, they took the decision together. It's not mandatory. I might decide I want to go in for something. The royal family can't cage me. So I'm a royal king or a royal prince. Like, it's not mandatory you cage me in that circle. I might want to explore some things more. Some things might be hindering me from doing something. So it's not a bad decision as a man. You take your decision how you want to live your life, despite wherever you come from or whatever you do.
Thank you very much, Olatu. So the question ever is, what is wrong in a woman taking over a man's, what is wrong with you as a man going with your wife to wherever it is she's from? Like, imagine she's from the South Pole or the North Pole, and say, I'm abandoning everything and I'm going with my wife. Is that such a bad thing?
That is even what is supposed to be. Genesis 2:24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother and shall cleave to his wife. So wherever your wife is going. But you see, because Africans, first of all, want that family to hold you within their clutches. You have to be with the family, extended family. Hold on. I said, wait. Now, first of all, the African family. Now, the royals also have their own tradition where they want to be in control of everything, every offspring. There's already a line carved out for you to follow. This must be your path because you have been born here. Forgetting that everybody is an individual on their own and should be allowed to make their own choices. Now, Harry has chosen to make his own choice. Whether he's in love or he's not in love, he has chosen to go with Meghan, and I applaud Meghan. She's a strong woman. I also want to see it from the fact that Harry hasn't allowed anybody to, treat Meghan badly. We heard that she wasn't really very liked in the family, and I'm sure that is one of the issues they've been having. Okay, why don't we just carve out our own life? And like Nima said,
it's okay for him to start building his own family tree.
There's a Yoruba saying that says, this is like
No, let me explain. Say we should do things the way they do it so that to remain, follow tradition. That's basically what he said. No. So let me explain something to you. We heard that, even Kate had that issue.
When I come back, I'll let you make this point, because I know it's an important point. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Your View.
All right, thanks for staying with us. I'll come to Nima, but before you go, I want us to remember something. That there's something about culture that we all respect and uphold. And I'm sure you said something that Queen Elizabeth, that Harry wasn't allowed to live his own dreams and be who he wants to be. To be free. But did Queen Elizabeth ever have that opportunity to be who she wanted to be? No. No. Unfortunately, she didn't. That's why she's Queen Elizabeth today. There's this American thinking. Oh, I can be all I can be. Oh, I can be all, you can just be free. Whatever you want to be, just can dream big.
Yeah.
This is great. But at the same time, there's some cultures. I'll come to you, Nima. There are some cultures in Asia, even some part of the UK, where they guide their children
even
based
Africa.
on where, even in Africa, especially in Africa, they guide their children based on the culture they have. So as much as we like to have this new world view or be all that you can be, but this is a royal family. I'm sorry, you can't be all that you can be. You are royal.
Well,
You're different.
The queen's dream was to be queen. Trust me.
You don't know that.
Hold on a minute. And I want to buttress it now. The queen in her lifetime saw her son marry his mistress while he was married. She wanted to be queen. If she had any secret pleasure she really wanted to achieve, she could have done like her uncle. She stayed true to the name. Some people respect those lines and they believe in it and they will die for it.
They're calling.
Do you understand?
Like William obviously
but
does
some
respect
people do
it.
not have that restraint to continue like that. They are allowed to break away. Now, I'm not saying it is right for Meghan to take Harry away. But what if it is even double punishment for Harry to watch Meghan behind closed door go through some demeaning, degrading treatment just because she has a blood that is linked to Africa?
We don't know that.
No, we don't see even the one we are discussing. We are not in their ass. All of even will take 6 hours flight to London to even go and ask. The shaving that the police only they smile forget. We go feel limit. So
Nima,
no, we need to say it the way we can analyze it, the way we can understand, or maybe use our personal experiences to try to understand it. So if Meghan's treatment within the house is such that even Harry knows that it is further punishment and restricting of his own freedom, he would break away. Okay. Now, what the family line should have done to continue family line is always, at some point, be open to welcome outsiders.
And support them.
When Meghan came in, they should welcome that change. Something.
All right, so
you can't break tradition.
So may I even come in? So now all of these are actually assumptions. So you said that she came in and then they should have embraced her. So they said it gave them the kind of wedding they wanted. Yeah, they wanted to move away from the palace. They allowed them to move. And so they went on a break in December and then they came back, and they said that,
they didn't stay for Christmas at the Queen.
No, they didn't spend Christmas with the Queen.
And
it was immediately they came back that they put in this, that, okay, they would like to just, be independent. And well, I am not even disputing the fact that you shouldn't focus on your nuclear family, but I am just saying that there is no how that you can do without the extended family at the end of the day, because you really come from somewhere. And if you say that, they want to be independent, the Queen's last child did it, wanted to be independent with the wife, Sophie. Guess what? He's back. Like, he's back.
Harry can come back too now. Let Harry first go try now.
Choice away from him.
You know, the Benin tradition those days, even till date, is the first son that is tied to tradition. All the other people can go and establish in Onisha, come to Lagos, come to my village and become Oba. They are free to go and start their own tradition.
UK viewers, we'd like to hear your thoughts, because this is your matter.
Oh,
let me take this call. I have a call
London
from K2, I believe. Thanks for calling. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm
Good morning. Go ahead, please.
good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, what I really, my name is really not young.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, what I want to do is the fact that you realize that really Harry, by the experience of there are certain people whereby a child could the anger and the feeling of the mother.
Okay.
It's
And the way
muffled.
to get back to-
Your voice is muffled. I can't hear
Yes.
you.
Comparing it to the child.
Okay, I'm saying that there are situations whereby the child could have some emotional attachment to the maltreatment
Maltreatment.
the
Okay.
mother experienced.
Yes.
Okay.
And in a
possible.
way,
It's affecting him.
battling with some
Trauma.
dissertation about reality.
Yes.
Yes.
And in a way, after maturity, living through the history and all of those injuries done to the mother, could be a way of protest.
May I just clap for you?
I agree with him.
There's a type of freedom being an American
Gives to you.
But even that freedom
No, wait, Mariah.
for me, I feel that Harry doesn't even have an idea what he's going into.
Why?
I feel that going to
you-
North America, thinking you have
You
this
know
new
what
freedom.
what's
Wait,
his name?
may
Sorry.
Mariah, may I
take
say
it from what he said?
Mariah, okay.
And you know that Harry said after their mom's death, when he was grown, he said that he went through severe depression and grief. You know, so I understand that, especially with the fact that, you know, you're seeing what happened before, like it's going to replay, you know, and then you are cringing, like you don't want it to happen.
That's all.
But as Mariah said, it might just be that it does not even know where it's going to, but it just wants to take the
You
step.
will be all right.
Hey.
Andrew is sweeter. Andrew
Okay,
is sweeter,
so for
says.
me, culture is a way of life. That we were not born with culture. It was man that put culture
Made
down,
it.
that made it to guide them how you see fit. And over time,
Can
it
be
changes.
amended,
Yes, it can be
adjusted.
amended, it can be changed. Tomorrow now, so
Treated.
another prince will wake up and say, okay, since Harry was able to do this and was successful, let me still start from here. And then we see a different royal altogether.
But the
So it's allowed.
But the conservative nature of the royal family has actually helped to give some kind of sanity to the United Kingdom. You remember the issue of the gay pride thing?
Yes.
The Queen came out and said, "What is this?" But America has that freedom. You can be whatever. Child can do this, men can do this, everybody can do. You can do all you can do. But the Queen was, listen, tradition is so important to that family, and that is what has somewhat given that UK the balance
I respect the
of
way
not being to the extreme like the United States. So at the same time, as much as we want to be all that we can be, let us not forget where we're from, which is what the Queen stands for.
Because if there is no law, even in the whole world, everywhere will be in disarray. And you should know
I don't
that.
see Meghan as so.
There are advantages and
I don't see
disadvantages, and I don't
Meghan
think
as-
that when there are disadvantages, we should now say, oh, we
I
are running
don't
to this
see
side.
Meghan and what she represents
We have to
as
wrap up.
such anti-tradition. I see the racism and all those strong lines that we hate to discuss here around the royals as what has affected this relationship.
That's
And
what I feel
I see Andrew Harry hating what his mother went through, repeating itself in his wife.
let me take a few tweets
So
and we'll run up.
Andrew in straight out says, Meghan has done nothing wrong. It is the racism of the British press. Also, Prince Harry is protecting his wife from what happened to his late mom, Diana. And also, he's saying to you that they're moving to Canada and not the US. Harry says, only someone who wants to be taken away from home will be taken away from home.
Thank you.
Let's forget this issue and thank God he's not in the next in line to the throne. Simple, everyone should be allowed to do what they want to do and freedom.
Let me take this call from Edimo. Charles, are you there?
Yeah.
Thanks for calling. You're live. Go ahead, please. Yes.
Right. I think we are not appreciating what that young man must have passed through when the mother died. And if we appreciate what he will have passed through, then we should also appreciate what he is doing to safeguard his own family.
Yeah.
You know, the problem of the mother started when he was being rumored that was going to marry an Arab. And so they were going to be and that Arab man was supposed to be their stepfather. And so the British people are very conservative.
They are.
And they can go to any length to protect what they jealously hold dear to. So the young man wants to live his life and be free from such, praying eyes. So let's encourage him.
Okay.
Is it from the wife or from his own decisions? They have made their decisions and we should wish them well. Thank you.
We wish them well.
Let me take
Thank
this
you.
tweet.
Okay.
Professor Dr. Chief Alaji Pastor Engineer Kewe says, if they don't want to be royals, that's fine. but you can't eat your cake and have it. If you want to give back 5% of your income, what about the 95% from Prince Daddy and the mansion? Give it all up and we go understand. Oluwatomisin says, if I don't want to be treated in royalty, then it's Prince Harry's choice, not Meghan's choice. She wasn't in the flow of royalty before, so she doesn't have she doesn't have a say to it. Royalty lets go of it if he pleases. That's the...
Anyway, I have to wrap. I see a movie coming out of this.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow, yeah.
A lovely Hollywood blockbuster story.
Yes, I truly agree with you.
Look forward to seeing. All right, let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll talk about other topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Your View.
Okay, thanks for staying with us. So the story of a man came out on social media who had promised the sum of 720,000 naira, that's about $2,000, to any man who will allow him to spend a week in Italy with his wife. Now, the interesting thing is that he received quite a lot of responses from married women. Now, our conversation is not so much of what happened, because we now later found out that he wasn't really asking the wives to come and hang out with him in Italy, but he was actually going to give them a free vacation for the women and their husbands. But our conversation really is about the fact that a lot of married women responded to this call. And that in itself is a moral conversation.
Yes.
Is it right? Was it wrong? Why would women be willing to go on a vacation
with another man?
You can join the conversation on 070-80668014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Babajide?
Yes. So the first thing that came to my mind when I saw that post, because I was on the internet when it happened, was how can a man come out and say he wants other people's wives to, more like into a competition, and then he's going to pick somebody he wants to take outside the country? And women were lining up, including pastors' wives, and I was scared. I was scared because for some people, they argue that it's because of the money, it's about poverty. But I was scared. I remembered growing up, I used to hear that women would do anything within what they can use their hands to, to support their family. So take, for instance, you're married to a man who's not providing, but then you can go out there and hustle and make sure you work. And some have lost their jobs because their bosses told them, I will sleep with you to get you a promotion. They say, no, I'd rather stay at home and drink the gari with my husband. So for somebody to put up a post, I think that money, if you convert, is around 750K. And women were willing to go for that vacation, to apply for that because of that amount of money. No, I was scared.
In fact, the person who won it is a pastor's wife.
I was scared.
And the first thing that came to mind, honestly, was pala pala. Like, how did we even get here? Things fall apart. The center can no longer hold. Like, I know that things have been falling apart since time immemorial. But you see, this one, the table has broken, finally. I don't even understand. Like, we slept and woke up, and we found ourselves here. Because the person was saying, it was so silly, the person was saying that I just wanted people to think outside the box because I was not going to sleep with them, and that, they will come with their husband later, and I'll go with my Cinderella and all that. All those, like, stories, they were just dirty in my ears. I don't know. It's so, like, I don't understand.
Okay.
People know that I'm helpless. I've not recovered from the one I learned yesterday. So people should bring the one inside.
I don't even get it.
So as I learned yesterday, normalcy and normality and the right things are now abnormal in this sinful world that we are all living in now. If your reality is not in that place, you are a dot or you're 1%. So I just find out. I think the issues of people going on vacation because of money is basically lack of proper values. Because you see the money, it go finish. You don't get the thing where you no go finish. And like I said to Princess yesterday, some people, I think, is the level, if I use that word intelligence, they get us. If it is for you, there's nothing new, there's nothing big, there's nothing, his money is giving us $2,000, it will finish. It will finish, it will end.
Okay.
Don't carry these things like they are big, and you commit things that will eventually land you in a mental case because you just cannot comprehend it. I was saying to her yesterday that for my mental sanity is very important to me. I don't want don't compound it. So things that are unbelievable, I don't want the hear.
It's not even, you know, a lot of people came after the women. It's not even about the women. The men were involved. So your wife is going for a vacation. You planned it. If you win them, you go come. So the men were willing to let go of their wives for that amount of money. They were in the know already because I don't know how a wife will travel and you don't tell your husband where you're going to. So it's something that was planned between both partners that, okay, for the money's sake, you can go and do what you want to do or what you have to do and come back. Okay. So this brings me to the fact that we have gotten so poor in our mindset that we can do anything for money. And it's scary.
Okay, let me take this call from Tunji or Tunde. Good morning, are you there?
Good morning.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, my name is Tunji. I'm calling from the Caribbean.
Welcome to the show, Tunji.
Yeah, I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
I just want to say hi to everybody. I don't have anything.
Wow.
Thank you, Tunji.
Wow.
Right.
Just wow.
So, my question to you ladies now is, how much would be enough to get you to go on that kind of a vacation? How much? What kind of money can somebody offer to say, okay?
In this condition, that is this scenario that you're
how much?
painted.
$2,000 is nothing to you. $7,700. But how much can somebody put on the table and say, okay, I'll take you to Italy for 1 week. How much?
Hold on. I want to answer you now. $200 million, $2 billion, $20 billion. Owó tó bá ní kilo kan, àbùkù. That's the advice to you. So see, because we now excuse a lot of things. Some people say, don't talk to her. That's the way she needs to make it. Don't talk to him. People now leave things that are tangible, things that are important for things that are abstract. You would have gone and enjoyed that pleasure for just a while and you would lose everything.
You lose your soul.
So you determine if it's $2,000 that is important to you, or your happiness, sanity, and your family.
Okay, but there's some people that say if I have X amount of millions of dollars, I'm okay. I mean, I like to ask that question.
So if you put an amount to it, that makes it prostitution. So I'm going to do job and I'm getting paid for it.
Okay.
And I cannot be in that space where I get into prostitution.
Okay.
If I choose to say, okay, I want to have fun with this person and I want to go on that, that's a different ball game. But for you to put a price that there's no price that will make me say I want to go and spend a week with another man for whatever you want to pay, that means I'm selling myself. Let me just come out and kuku say I now do run, so everybody come and register, you pay this amount of money and I follow you. So it's not about, people have done things and people have fallen for, have done things that they regretted. People have made mistakes, That is an aside that you now want to get into the trade, because after that one, another person and an alaja might call. There are even secret ones. You're not even aware that your wife is collecting money and going for. At the end of the day, if she can boldly say, okay, let me go for this amount of money. So when you put that money there,
so you see, there are some times that you want to translate into English and then you're not able to do it because English is not as expressive as Yoruba. So
I just dropped Yoruba.
So I'll just do it that way. So you see, owo maton in your lumaku.
Benio.
That's all I can say. That is, you would finish the money.
Yes.
I mean, how about the morals? How about the values? How about you at the end of the day? I mean, this tells a lot about what the world has turned into. I mean, look at because of, and then you're married and you're getting out.
It's nice for us to see it from this myopic point of view, but there are people who are going through a lot.
Yeah.
Poverty, families who are in need. Yes, it's good to say it's not about the money. I totally agree with you, but you have not walked the shoes of a woman whose husband probably has no job, her children are sick, she needs everything, and somebody is now throwing X amount of thousands of dollars. So hang in there. So it's easy for us to judge. But there are some women that take it. So those women who have responded and saying, I will do it, we've not walked their shoes. We don't know what they're going through. So the point I'm trying to see where everybody's coming from, and I hear it. Yeah. But it's important that we are clear that we don't judge.
No, we're not judging.
We're not judging. Now, Nima said that there is nothing new under the sun. So, if there is nothing new under the sun, there are people who have gone through worse situations and they did not fall for it.
You don't know that.
Because there is nothing new.
Well, there's nothing new. Do you see this thing that you are saying? This poverty that you have, people have suffered it before. They've chosen this choice that you want to make. How did they end?
How did it pay?
What are we saying?
How did it work for them? Because you don't have to be your experience. Me, I'm even good at this thing. It doesn't have to be my experience for me to learn from it. I can always tap from your own, and that's fine for me. I don't miss certain things that I've seen the outcome for it in other people's lives. I don't miss it. See, the way I see it, you will take that means, you bring it home, and it would have created a problem that you might not be able to end in your life. It might be the major thing that will eventually break that home. So why are you going to bring that means into the home in the first place?
Sometimes you're thinking of survival.
Good
morning. Are you there?
Thank you.
Good morning. Thanks for calling. Go ahead,
morning.
please. Yes.
Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning,
God bless you.
Amen.
Yeah. This Ahmed from Dokpemo, Ajibola from Dokpemo.
Okay.
You see, what I want to talk about today's topic is that it's not about the people. It's about the value degradation in the country. You understand? Some people just believe that they can do anything to make money. And some of these people, as what the person is offering their husband, they just think, okay, when they get the money, the husband is having something to do with the money. And then the wife forget that even if he go with the man, when he come back, the husband will find it difficult to believe him.
Yes, so.
You understand? Even if they say there's nothing that happened in between them over there, that is it. But it's about the society generally, our mentality. When you see people, they say that they do all sorts of things to make money. The people go to make rituals, some people go, they say they go to the tent to use streets to take bread. But what of this one? This is just a little. When you compare to other ones, well, God, that I would blame government, because when this thing is happening and nobody is acting in the government, you understand, it's an indication that worse thing will happen if care is not taken. Thank you.
It is not about the government, it's about the family. It's about the family is the bedrock of the society. Teach your children well. There are so many parents don't you know that the child is not also bringing stuff into the home, and then you're asking, you're demanding. A guy just committed suicide somewhere. He's a Nigerian and he attended a university in Benin Republic, and somehow he just came back and then he killed himself, and they were wondering what happened. But before then he said that the pressure he had was just too much, because he said that they were already demanding stuff from him. He just finished, and you know what the situation is in the country. So I think it is not about we saying because we are the government after all. So it is how you train your children. The parenting is relative. I keep saying this. The way people, train their children these days. Right. If you say don't pick something, if your child brings something from school and it's not his own, tell him to return it. Drag you to school. You know, and these days it's just okay with so many people.
Okay, all right.
You know, this brought my mind to back in the university. We had guys who were pimping their girlfriends. So we are dating now, but then you can send me out to men and get money. You know, and then it was a business for the young men. So they were dating you and they were sending you out. So weekends, you see cars coming to pick, and they will usher you to the door of the car, take care, see you, because they know that when you come back the next Sunday evening before school starts on Monday, that you're going to be bringing goodies for them. And the men were comfortable with that. But at the end of the day, when
they marry you,
when you now have a conversation with them, you say, I know that one are just cool. There's nothing that will come out of this. I've sent her here, I've sent her there. So and that was about 10 years ago this was happening. So, but I was scared that it now came to marriage. And I've heard, aside from what this guy just did, that there are men who don't even mind their women going out there to make money.
No, when we have cultures in Nigeria, where the highest way to honor a visitor is to give your wife. So those are,
I remember that culture.
Again, culture. Sure, you understand. But then, for your person, the values that you believe is what you use to guide your life. Make we take to it. Najite says, this is the most ridiculous thing I've heard this year. Ridiculous. Oh my God. Even money has no value. Any man that allows his wife to go along with this has to be checked, as well as the wife. Who even thought of it once crazy world we now live in? Abdul says, eroded values. We seem to have placed too much value on material gains now than ever before. Saidu says, The way, okay, that's for the last
For the
topic.
last topic,
PJ
yeah.
Comedian says, I saw this post yesterday and only goes to show the kind of charade we have these days in marriages. Okay. No more values. Money is now more important than morality.
Yeah.
One even said her husband gave her permission to go.
Yes.
Ha, orishi nonsense.
Okay, let me take this final call. Good morning, Emmanuel. Are you there? Emmanuel? Are you there, Emmanuel? Okay, I think we lost that call. Okay, we have to wrap up on this. Let me take a few more tweets.
Omoba says, it only shows the level of poverty that we have in Nigeria, and it has affected the mentality of people. 725K would actually go a long way in the life of most Nigerians. May God help us.
All right, so I think we can wrap up now. It's not so much about the money. We say values is important. But as I said, I don't want us to judge women who actually took the decision to do this. Although it's wrong, doesn't have two names. It's wrong.
Yes,
it's
but
wrong.
can they think of other alternatives of making money, like using their hands,
using
their brain? You can make money lying on your bed, on your phone.
It's fun and nice to say it. Trust me.
No, it's not fun and nice to say it because people like us are doing.
Some people don't have the literacy to pick up on them and do what they want to do. So it's easier for us to talk from our own map of the world. But there are people that are not even close to where you are. Is it true? Is it true? Is it true? So I'm not giving them excuses. I'm not excusing. But the point is that the bottom line is that we all agree that we must uphold the morals of our society. And anything that is wrong is wrong. We can't give it excuse and allow them to do such immoral acts.
No matter how life is, determine how you will live it.
Yeah, find a way.
Because if you can do this, you can also ask your daughter to go do the same to feed you. Determine now how you will live this life and determine what you would leave behind when you go.
Okay, on that note, we're going to go on a break. When we come back, we'll discuss, we'll go further. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. All right, so we've rounded up the previous topic, and I know that I wanted to say a few words concerning, there was another topic that we got a story. One of our fans said that he'd like to hear our thoughts on this. A young man lost his wife, and the family of the wife took his children from him. And this is rather strange because we always hear of the other way around. He's distraught and does not know what to do. So we have to wrap up very soon, but I'd like to hear your thoughts on it because he's actually watching today. And he has asked for our own advice on how to go about it. I'd like to start from Nima because you're the lawyer and you come across this kind of issues a lot of time. He sent us a message and he said he'd really like to get our views on this. So Nima, let me let you start.
He sent me the message directly as well. And although I've not responded, I've read it, I've not responded. The reality is that he is the rightful custodian of those children and he cannot be arrested for kidnapping his children. He can stay the walk-in, pick up his children and walk out with them. Yeah. The school, the parents or the family of his wife cannot take his children legally under Nigerian laws from him. What the family can do is approach the court and establish grounds for why they think he's not a proper fit person to raise those children. Yeah. And then they will get an order of court to become custodians of the children. So what they are doing now is illegal and you should pursue it legally. Yeah.
It was what I was going to say too. I would just say pray and go to court.
Because, you know, in Africa, it's the man that owns the children because they have to bear his name at the end of the day. So if they now...
No, it's not like that in Africa. If they are marriage rights, because if they are married traditionally, they are marriage rights in certain custom. And in Igbo land, I'm sure you should be aware, if you have not completed marriage rights as regards your wife, the children that she bore
belongs to the wife's family,
to her family, until you fulfill those rights. So that's the only
So are there rights that are pending in this case?
No. No. So, as for what I read, I think I've just stated the general rule. The exceptions are what I'm stating now. Because if they married customarily and you have gone to family, you have not brought scholar, you have not brought, and certain things are pending, family will hold on to the children because the honor of their daughter in death is also what family wants to preserve.
But they didn't give us the details.
If he knows those things, we don't have all the picture, the entire picture.
So he knows now that he should do the right way if he did not do those things.
If he had done everything and they are rightfully his children, he should just go to court and sue them.
On that note, we end the show. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a fabulous weekend. We'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.
Bye.